Now, if you did watch my last video from over here, filmed maybe about a couple of months ago, you'll know that we had a slight situation with the sunbeds in that we've had no sunbeds on the beaches over here in Caló until just recently, and have just appeared in the past couple of weeks. Now, I was in for quite a surprise actually when I came down here to Cala Egos to take a look around, and you might be in for a surprise too if you're a regular visitor over here. And we're going to take a walk now down to the beach and we're going to check out the sunbeds for 2025. And the first thing I'm going to say here is that it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good because if you want a prime position on Cala Egos beach, it's not going to be a matter of getting here early. It's going to mean that you're going to have to pay for your stay down here on Cala Egos. Okay, so I'm just turning the camera around here and you can see I'm standing right in front of the very lovely Allure Sol Hotel. It's absolutely huge, but it is a very, very nice hotel and it has a prime location over here on Cala Egos beach. We've got a little bit of an aerial view here of the Cala. You can just see the first of the sun umbrellas here that have been placed on the beach. A little way down, we can see we've got a free space here. And also we can see some other further sun umbrellas behind as well. These look a little bit worn. I don't know whether they're being charged for. We can see there are a couple here that could need replacing. But let's take a walk down the steps now. Let's go and take a look at Cala Egos. So I have to say it's absolutely boiling hot over here at the moment. It's well over 30 degrees. The sun is going down. It's coming up to 8 o'clock actually, and I just physically could not come out here any earlier today. We have had highs of around 37 degrees Celsius. It's been extremely hot. So I'm hoping I will be back here during the day, albeit very early in the morning in the future. So consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already to catch that video. But for now, let's head on down around where the Allure Sol is and let's take a walk down onto the beach and go and check it out. So you can see actually everyone has now left the poolside over here in the Allure Sol swimming pool area. Got a lot of people out for dinner at the moment over in the restaurants. This does look like a very, very lovely hotel, as you can see. But we're going to head on down the steps now and head on down onto the beach. So just looking to my left hand side here, like I said, from the top here, look, we've got this free area, this free space. And well, most of the beaches over here in Mallorca have to have some kind of free area or free space to allow those who are not paying for a sunbed or a beach umbrella down to the beach. Over on the Calvia beaches, you'll see the huge swathes of sand, particularly on Santa Ponsa Beach, and you'll find that the sunbeds and the beach umbrellas are all pretty much banked up together as well in areas. But we do have some wonderful areas of free space, but that is unfortunately not the case over here in Caló because, well, these are calas. The beaches over here are calas and they're very, very small. So let's turn the camera around and look what they've done with the sunbeds and the beach umbrellas for summer 2025. Now, to give some perspective here as to how busy and how packed this little area is going to become in the summer, I will come back down here during the day. Maybe we'll get to talk to some viewers as well. You have to let me know if you're coming on holiday here during peak season. But look, we've got the sunbeds and the beach umbrellas banked up, ready to lay out in the morning. And as you know, this is an absolutely gorgeous Calo. You've seen my videos. Go and check them out. So I'll drop a little bit of B-roll here. You can see how absolutely blue and turquoise this water is, which probably explains why now you guys who are going to want to sit on the front part of the beach are going to have to pay a price. And let's go and see what that price is for 2025. And in fact, look, just walking down the back of the beach here, it's going to be a very, very tight fit this summer if you're going to want to sit anywhere near the water. My recommendation is to make sure you do come down later on in the evening because we can see how empty the calas are. We're often asked, when is a good time to go to the beach? When's a great time to experience an empty beach? And around this time of the evening, I think is just the perfect time. You can see some people here have brought a little picnic out with them. But even they can't get near the water side here. They can't get near the water just because of the sun umbrellas that we see have been dug in so close to shore. And for comparison, this is what Cala Egos Beach looks like back in 2024, sunbed free and open to all. So we are coming up to the prices here, and €16.94. Let's call it around €17 here. It's going to get you 2 sunbeds and a beach umbrella. One sunbed is going to be €6.05, and this pricing will apply to all the beaches here in the Sant'Agni area, the Sant'Agni municipality. So this is going to include Cala Petita and Cala Gran too. Cala Ferrera has its own pricing system. Go back and watch my previous video. I'll drop a link to that video in the description text below. But Cala Ferrera is part of the Felonice municipality, so those prices are slightly different. So I've got more bad news for you as well. Look, we see a sunbed limit here. It's been crossed out. I don't actually know what that means. What does that actually mean? There's no sunbed limit. There is a sunbed limit, but you can see, look, we've got 2 piles of sunbeds here, and I assume that this is going to service these beach umbrellas. But let's just walk down to the shoreline. Now this is why I need to come back during the daytime. You can imagine 2 beach beds here being placed around each sun umbrella, and this whole area is going to be completely packed. Okay, so just looking at this to my left-hand side and just going back to talking about the fact that these beaches are calas, it's going to mean that if you want to sit down by the shoreline, you're going to have to pay for it. I think it's going to be very hard actually for anyone to come down here just with a beach towel and sit right along the shoreline. And of course that's really important for families, particularly those with small children. I remember when my daughter was 2, 3, 4 years old, I wanted to get a seat right along the shoreline to make sure I could see where she was in the water, and you just can't do that here because you're going to have to pay for this beach bed and sun umbrella space. Let me know in comments what you think, but also from the perspective of a resident, and as I've said, and as you may know, I've been living here on the island for 20 years. When you position the sunbeds and the beach umbrellas like this, it's a very clear message, particularly to locals, that well, maybe locals are not welcome on this beach, because who's going to be able to afford to sit waterside over here in Cala Egos? I certainly know that most people here that are earning an average salary working the bars and the restaurants won't be getting down here first thing on a Sunday morning to get one of these beach beds and sun umbrellas and paying the best part of €20 for the day. So yeah, let me know in comments what you think. Anyway, let's leave Cala Egos now. We're going to go up, jump in the car. We're going to go and take a look at Caló Despau, which is just on the other side of Cala Egos resort here. It's just, well, it's kind of part of Cala Egos, but we're going to go and check out that beach because, as you remember from my previous video, there are no sunbeds over there either. I don't have time to go and have a look at Cala Petita or Cala Gran today, but like I said, watch out for those future videos and we'll see what it's like daytime over here in peak season. Don't forget as well, as I just head up these steps back to where my car is parked, that I do have a full guide to Caló for 2025 on the channel, and particularly because the layout of this resort can be a little bit confusing, so go back and watch that just to help you find your way around. Okay, so I've just parked at the back of the Egos Restaurant Beach Club over here, and you may remember from my previous videos we did see that getting built. It's just in front of the Roca Marina Hotel, but let's turn the camera around and check out Caló Despau this evening. Now we can see almost the same story here. Look, the beach has almost been halved actually, halved into just plain free beach for anyone coming over here, down here for the day, and the rest of it has been pretty much blanketed by sun umbrellas. But let's go and take a walk on down. Now the one thing that we do have over here on Caló Despau is some good access. Let's see if it's been repaired. They still have the same pricing up here from a few years ago. This needs to be changed, so please ignore this if you are coming down to Caló Despau for the day, because I think the new pricing that we've seen over in Cala Egos is going to apply. Now it doesn't look like very much has been done to the boardwalks over here. Look, a little bit broken in places. But look, one thing they were very quick to do over here was get these sun umbrellas in the sand. Now it looks like a little bit more maintenance does need to be done. Obviously we've got rubbish down here, that'll be cleared away by the morning. It's good to see quite a few rubbish bins down here, but look at this, look. Just to show you, prices down here have doubled, and it's the same pricing over here, as I said, as over on Cala Egos. So, just like on Cala Egos, if you want to sit anywhere near the water or near the shoreline, there's a very, very small area, and we're going to go and check that out in just a moment. But as I pan the camera around here, look, you can see the swathe of sun umbrellas here. They have chained up the sunbeds overnight. And just as I said, over in Cala Egos, this is not ideal for small families. It really is not ideal for small families at all. So let's just follow the little walkway around here, because as we walk back, you're going to get a slightly better perspective. And we have got a couple of little platform areas here for sitting out, but I can imagine these will be very, very busy during the daytime. Now, unfortunately, this video does not do Caló justice. The water down here, as you've seen in my previous videos, is beautiful and turquoise, but like I said, it's gone at 8 o'clock. I'm filming this right at the end of the day, during the last shred of daylight, and basically at the coolest point of the day. But first, just taking a look to my left here, look, you can see the entrance here to Caló Marina, which is where I'm going to head next actually for another video. I'm going to do a little bit of a sunset walk through Caló Marina, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and that notifications button is enabled so you don't miss that video. But anyway, let's take a walk back and I'll just give you a better view of the beach. So yeah, you can see here, I'm not going to go too close, but you can see how much space there is. There's basically space for 2 families here to sit shoreside down here on Caló beach. Now, I think I've just figured out what this sign here means, this sunbed limit. And I do believe, at least I think I do believe, that any of these municipal sunbeds have to go on this side of the beach, and they have to keep this side clear. Goodness me, did you just see someone almost fall over then on this boardwalk? I mean, this needs fixing urgently. They've been so quick to get out these sunbeds and these beach umbrellas and try and make some money that's been lost this season and blanketing the beaches that they really do need to take care of these access routes too. Sorry to sound so critical in this video, but I do think about the families coming over here on holiday and just wanting to sit down by the shoreline. Now, the most that we can hope for at the moment is a big storm, which we normally get at some point in August, to maybe wash away a few of those seafront beach umbrellas and just free up that sandy space a little bit. But who knows, maybe somebody might see sense and maybe take a couple of them away and maybe just put them down a little bit further down the back of the beach. Who knows, who knows. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching this video. That's just a very quick look at Cala Egos and Caló. If you do have any photographs from over Cala Gran and Cala Petita that you've taken while here on holiday this summer, do go and post them on the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group. I would like to see what those beaches look like, but like I said, I do hope to be back in a future video to film over here early on in the morning, or maybe a little bit later on in the afternoon if the temperatures do cool down a bit. Okay everyone, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget you can find me on the Facebook group and on my Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun. I'm going to drop a link here on YouTube to the guide that I have made to Caló just here, and another piece of interesting content just here too to help you out with your holiday. I'm going off now to go and film around Caló Centre. I'm going to see what the nightlife is like tonight, so make sure you catch those videos coming out very soon in the future. Then if they're already out, I'll drop the links to those in the description text below as well. Okay everyone, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Goodbye for now.